Two clinical trials are currently underway to see if the miracle weight loss drug Ozempic could help people with early onset Alzheimer's. This is just the latest disease researchers believe could benefit from Ozempic. Last week, we told you about reports that the drug may help curb addictive behaviors. Ozempic is already approved to treat diabetes, but could its ability to treat weight loss, addiction, and Alzheimer's be too good to be true? Joining us now to break it all down is NewsNation medical contributor Dr. David Montgomery. Doctor, good to have you here. Weight loss, addiction, Alzheimer's, has there ever been a single drug that can help so many conditions?
Yeah, and how about this, Elizabeth? Don't forget about the cardiology piece. It helps heart disease as well. It almost feels like one of those late night commercials, right? You know,
yeah.
Wait, but there's more, right?
The infomercial.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, and I've been looking at this, you know, really just sort of trying to get to the bottom of it. The medicine that we see now, Elizabeth, is 2 decades in the making. So the early signs that it helped diabetes and heart disease and addiction, as well as Alzheimer's, was first found in animals before it was done, in the case of Alzheimer's, in these small human trials before the big clinical trials are started. And it showed lack of or reduction in the accumulation of these amyloid plaques and a reduction in the cognitive decline that comes in people with Alzheimer's disease. I think it's fascinating.
But how does a diabetes drug that's working, you know, on the rest of your body contribute to preventing the buildup of these plaques in the brain?
Yeah, what a fantastic question. One of the things that we know about diabetes is that it is one of the major contributors to dementias of different sorts, but certainly Alzheimer's. And so I think the scientists, having known that, hey, we've got a diabetes drug that works really, really well, it gets past the blood-brain barrier. That's that fortress that protects the central nervous system, one of the best systems. And if it can get in there, what else can it do? And they started doing the trials. So the medicine that causes diabetes to be more better controlled in your system also causes some of the lack of inflammation and the antioxidant effects, as well as causing these plaques to just, you know, to not form. And the data show it.
So is it the anti-inflammatory properties? Is that what the diabetes drug is doing? I mean, when you say that diabetics are prone to get dementia, is that because of inflammation from diabetes?
Partly inflammation, the vascular damage that occurs. Remember, really tiny blood vessels, you know, supplying these nerves. But then they showed this other part, which was it also acts on the misfolded protein, these sort of amyloid and tau proteins that are the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. It literally slows down the accumulation, and it's a very different thing than diabetes itself.
Currently, there is no treatment for Alzheimer's, although there are several drugs, promising drugs in FDA testing right now. This would be huge if Ozempic can help patients, but we should note it's just for patients in early stages of Alzheimer's, correct?
That is correct. So the trials now are in mild Alzheimer's disease. And I think you've got to sort of, you know, get past that bar before we start seeing if it works in more advanced forms of Alzheimer's disease. I think the proof of concept is still yet to be seen. It is an attractive and very exciting prospect for people, millions of people across the country, and even more across the globe.
Ozempic does not come without side effects. Many of them are extremely unpleasant, and you have to continue to take it for the rest of your life, or in the case of weight loss, the pounds come back. Would the same be true for patients with Alzheimer's or even addiction? In other words, it only works while I'm taking it. Once I stop, I go right back to suffering from this disease.
Yeah, still left to be sorted out. But the attractive part about this, so the reason why I'm really excited about this is, again, going back to these amyloid plaques, not just the hallmark of the disease, but we think it's causal. It causes Alzheimer's disease. If it slows down or prevents the accumulation of these plaques, you can't imagine that if you took the drug away, that you would then sort of have an accelerated accumulation. But time will still tell. It doesn't seem like it will, but we have to look at the data when it comes.
So when will we know more, doctor? Like, when will we have more results from studies? Because I can tell you, people are desperate for a treatment for Alzheimer's, and we already saw this with weight loss. I mean, there was a run for the doctor's office, put me on Ozempic for people who wanted to lose weight. I can't imagine the run that would now happen if people start learning that, oh my gosh, this can help, stop or slow the progression of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, well, so I think we've got some years. Novo Nordisk, for example, just started the clinical trial, the phase 3 clinical trial in 2021. So we've got some years before we see the data.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.